Welcome to Southern California CEO Magazine. I'm Jeff Allen. You may remember our past discussion with Mike Stull, director of the Inland Empire Center for Entrepreneurship at Cal State San Bernardino and founder of the Spirit of the Entrepreneur Awards. Well, now that the awards and accolades have all been handed out, I wanted to welcome Mike back for a follow-up chat about the latest event. And I also have two other special guests Mike has brought with him, and we're going to talk to them in just a few short minutes. But first, Mike Stull, welcome back.
Jeff, great to be here.
What a great event. And now, I had a chance to attend this Spirit Awards, the 11th Annual Spirit Awards in Ontario with the entire SoCalCEO team. And I was really looking forward to it because I knew it was going to be special, but I had no idea that it was this big. And when I say big, everything about it, the presentation, the way that it came together, and just the way that people showed up, and it was quite an affair. Tell us about this year's event and how it stacks up to the previous year's award ceremonies.
This year's event was, and like every event, it's a show. It's not just an awards presentation. It's a show, it's entertainment, and it's also a celebration. And this year was our largest, 610 people. We normally have between 500 and 600, but we went over 600 this year. And great entertainment. The theme of this year's event was the art of entrepreneurship, and we really believe that entrepreneurship is truly a form of art, and that entrepreneurs are artists in their own right. And of course, we built on that theme with Brian Olson and his Art in Action, the very creative, inspirational, exciting artwork that he did on stage. Painting in 5 to 8 minutes these incredible paintings of very famous figures with his hands and his multiple brushes. And so not only was it a great excitement to see all the entrepreneurs in the audience and up on stage winning the awards, but it was great to have that show and that entertainment and that great energy and vibe in the room with the over 600 people.
What were some of the things that you took away from the event yourself? I mean, I know that we saw you were running around and you were crazy, man, just making sure that all the details, everything kind of came together. But as you sit back and you watch and you kind of have a chance to enjoy, as everybody else does, what were some of the things that you'll remember most about this year's event?
I think what I always remember most about the event is the audience reactions, the crowd responding. And probably my favorite part of the event is when the award recipients are up on stage accepting the award and the types of comments they make and the thanks they give to their team. I think almost without exception each year the award recipients get up on stage and they talk about their team and the people that help make it possible every day. And they usually deflect most of the credit to their team. And I think that's a really inspiring thing, that they know it's a lot of hard work and risk to create a business, but they know that it takes a team to make it successful and build it to a certain level. And I think hearing their comments and seeing how heartfelt they are and how touched they are to win the award and get that pat on the back that they don't often get, that's usually my favorite part of the event.
Tell us, what do you do for an encore, Mike? I mean, we've got a long ways, it seems, before the 12th Annual Spirit Awards comes up, but there's a lot of planning that's involved, and you're probably engaged in some of that right now, aren't you?
We actually start the planning process before we present the event. So we're overlapping each year, and we'll start really in earnest actually next week, working on the following year's event. And so for us, the focus really is around the quality of the nominations. So, to really top yourself each year, you have to continually get a good group of businesses that are nominated and make their way through the nomination process and ultimately end up at the event. That's the heart and soul of the awards program. The entertainment, the logistics, the staging, the audience, all that stuff has to come together. But it really starts with having great companies. And we've been really fortunate. Every year we say, boy, I don't know, have we run out of good businesses? And then every year we get just more great businesses coming out of the woodwork, people we've never heard of, and we get great nominations from the community. So it starts with that. And then we say, well, how can we top ourselves in terms of presenting the event and those kind of things? And how can we take a different approach? And I thought, every year I think we present a great event. This year was one of my favorites simply because I think, the art theme and the entertainment really solidified it. And again, great companies and touching stories and the emotion, you feel it in the room. So we hope to carry that over to next year, and we always have a few surprises up our sleeves.
So when can people start thinking about nominating those businesses and those business owners for the next Spirit Awards?
Great question. We typically start taking nominations in April. The nomination period runs from early spring all the way up until usually the end of July. And then we move into the evaluation phase. So we have ample time to get the nominations.
Well, Mike Stull, it sure is great to have you back in studio with us again, and great for you to talk to us and give us kind of a recap and a review of what went on. And while we were there, before the ceremony, we actually had a chance to visit with Al Lewis. Now, he's one of the senior judges on the committee, and he's been working with the Spirit Awards for quite some time. We had a chance to talk to him a little bit about his experience and just how difficult it is to choose those winners. Standing with Alan Lewis now, and Mr. Lewis has been judging this event for quite some time. Mr. Lewis, it's good to have you with us. Tell us a little bit about your involvement. How long have you been involved in judging this event?
It's actually been, this is my 11th year as being a judge for the Spirit Awards. Prior to that, I was a judge for the Ernst & Young program for 7 years in the Inland Empire. This has been a phenomenal experience. I love it.
Why is this particular event so important, and so important to this area in particular?
Well, you know, I've been a supporter of entrepreneurship my whole life, been an entrepreneur, and this is the true definition of free market economy. It's been amazing to me over all these years to see the strength of these companies, to see how many companies grow and create jobs in this area. So from an economic point of view, this is the engine that really runs the economy, especially here in the Inland Empire. So it's always great to see these companies come out and get these kinds of awards.
Al, give us some insight. Being a judge, I would imagine, while it's got to be delightful and it's got to be an exciting and fun experience, it's got to be kind of difficult because there's some people who are really deserving of these awards. Tell us about the criteria that you use as a judge in determining the award recipients.
Right. It's actually a very demanding process, mainly because you've got a lot of material to review, and what we're looking for are companies that are being led by very outstanding individuals who show the grit, the determination, the perseverance, the passion, the entrepreneurial spirit to succeed, no matter what the obstacle. So when we get to meet these people and we get to read the materials, it's looking for the people that excel virtually in all of those characteristics. And I've always said this to Mike, who runs the program, that for the judge's perspective, we see them so that they come to the top. The cream always rises to the top. And so there's a lot of work on the judge's part, but the ultimate result is really selecting some of the really outstanding companies in our area to be recognized.
Well, right now I'd like to take a moment to introduce two very special guests joining me and Mike here in the studio, the winners of both this general entrepreneur category and the big night's winners, winner of the Best Award, Mr. Gary and Miss Sally Myers, and a couple of business owners from the Inland Empire. You folks are busy. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you with.
Thank you. It's great to be
Thank
here.
you. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the business that you're in, as if we didn't know by looking at Gary's cap on the table. Tell us a little bit about what you do and how long you've been in business.
Well, you have to bring some of the colors with you, but we've been in business since 1983, and our first sizzler that we opened up was in Temecula. And we tried to make that sizzler the very best that it was back then, and we grew to 23 sizzler restaurants today. We now own also 2 Richie's Real American Diners, one in Rancho Cucamonga, one in Palm Desert. And we licensed those from Sally's parents, Jack and Linda Williams, that have 2 Richie's Diners in Marietta and Temecula. And we have one Texas Roadhouse that we joint venture with Texas Roadhouse after several years of connecting with them and the top brass, and they think like we think. And our company, we just, we had to get one of these in Southern California. They're skeptical of Southern California. And it's become a very successful restaurant in Menifee, California.
Well, everybody knows these places, and people love them. People love these restaurants. The variety of the different locations and the restaurants that you own and that you operate has got to keep things kind of different and kind of interesting, I would imagine, on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely. From Southern California to Sacramento and everything in between, there's things going on all the time. There's a lot of advertising, billboards, and our marketing department gets involved in training and development of our people to make them the best they are, negotiating on properties for future locations. There's a lot going on.
Now I want to talk to you about winning the awards that you picked up the other night. But first of all, Sally, let me ask you, when you and Gary were deciding to go into business together, what was coming to that decision like? Do you remember, what led up to that moment and what it was like when you finally made that decision? Yeah, let's jump in.
Absolutely, I do. It was really a very exciting time in our life because you have to realize I was raised in the hospitality and the restaurant industry because my family was in Sizzler restaurants prior to that. And so I knew what it was like to be in a restaurant family and knowing how important the guest is and community is and hospitality and enthusiasm, energy, connecting. So I grew up in that. And so when I realized I had the opportunity to work with my husband, and we had just really recently been married, and so it was exciting because I was like going from one family business almost to another family business, and I also knew that I'd never go hungry, which was really exciting. And I also knew that my kids would have an opportunity to have a great mentor, their dad and my husband, and so it was very exciting, very exciting.
You were first called up as the winners of the General Entrepreneur Award category, and then you took home what some might refer to as kind of the grand prize, the Best of the Best award. When you heard your name announced in front of 600 plus fellow business people there at the Ontario Convention Center, what went through your mind? What was that like? Both of you can answer.
Well, let's say it together. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Wow.
No, it was shocking, very shocking, unbelievable that we actually won the best of the best. And I think that it was very personal too, because we try to be the best at what we do and everything that we do. So it was very cohesive to our culture and the people that work with us. It was just a wow, trying to stop your heart from pounding and all those emotional things that you get, and your life flashes by you, all the things that you've done, where you've been, where you're going, and then moving on from there. Where do we go from here?
And all the people that you've met along the way and the people who've kind of contributed to your success, I would imagine that there are hundreds of people back there in the background that you could probably look to and think, we couldn't have done it without them.
Exactly.
Thousands of people, incredible people that work hard every day, and as most people get to play in the hospitality business, we work while others play.
Sally, let me ask you a question. What does the Spirit of the Entrepreneur Awards mean, not only to you, but really to businesses in general, those people who get involved or who know about it? What should it mean, do you think, to the community, and what does it mean based on your conversations that you've had with other people?
Right. Well, that evening I decided I wanted to look up the word spirit, and I shared what I thought that meant, because everybody in that room obviously has that spirit, and that is really that innermost passion, that drive that you have as an individual from your heart, your soul. Everything that motivates you is that passion. And so everyone that was nominated in that room has passion, not just for a business, but for people, because in business, we have a passion for people. We want to create jobs. We want to create a quality of life for people. So there's a lot that goes involved with that, that is involved with that. And so we're just grateful that we've had the opportunity to have a business, be able to share that together, share it with our family, and of course, obviously our Sizzler, Richie's, and Texas Roadhouse family.
Now, you mentioned Spirit, and there was a point in the evening where we had a chance to see Spirit on display there. There were a number of college students who took part in the fast pitch competition, and one of those individuals is a person we talked to before the event, and that was Christine Law. Christine Law is a student at Cal State San Bernardino. She was the first contestant up. She eventually won that competition later on that night. We've got some of the comments that she made to us right before the event. I have the pleasure of standing with Christine Law. She's a student finalist here at the Spirit Awards, and student finalist from Cal State San Bernardino. Christine, congratulations so far. And I know that the awards haven't been given out yet, but what an honor it must be.
Thank you so much. Yes, it is my pleasure and honor to be able to present at the Spirit of the Entrepreneur event. I'm a student finalist, and I will be presenting a 90-second fast pitch that explains a proof of concept for a product and the market, as well as my target customers for the product.
What is your field of study at Cal State?
I am an entrepreneurial management and supply chain management student.
what would you like to do? So once you get your degree, we're looking down the line here. Ultimately, what would you like to do, Christine?
Well, first I would like to get some experience in the consulting field, and afterwards I would love to be able to actually execute the idea that I'm going to present tonight for everybody.
Sally, let me ask you a question. You and Gary and Mike here in the studio, part of something real big, the spirit of the Entrepreneur Awards. We all had a chance to enjoy it together. You've been in business for a long time. You've had some success. What would you say to those? Maybe they're married couples like you, or maybe they're individuals. They're thinking about going into business for the first time and taking that leap. What would you say to them about maybe obstacles or risks or anything at all, any wisdom that you could impart? What do you think they should know before they decide to go into business?
They need to really know themselves quite well. They need to truly evaluate their strengths and their weaknesses. And they need to know that it's a good risk, that it's a great calculated risk. And they have to want to be able to sacrifice other things around them too, so that they can have their complete focus on their business and the different folks that they need to bring alongside them. And that's going to be key, who they bring along beside them, whether it's a spouse, whether it's kids. Everybody needs to be on the same page. You need to be one cohesive unit. A husband can't go into business if the wife says, no, 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 no. They have to be able to work together. They have to have grace. They have to have a really good understanding and relationship with that.
Gary, you have your businesses are here in Southern California, and you could go anywhere you want to do business. I mean, we've got a big country. What is so appealing about doing business here?
I've always done business in California, and it's been a great place to do business for all these years. So we've had over 30 years of doing business in Southern California and Northern California. And we've been able to get through all the governmental regulations, and we built a lot of friends and relationships with government officials in helping us get through all the things that California had to offer, some stumbling blocks that we've run into. We get over those, and I think part of it's our passion for, we believe in what we do, and I think people join us with our passion and believe in us. And we get through these hurdles just like you would anywhere else in the country. But it's that optimism that we have for our brand, for our people, our product, that really gets us through and do really well in California.
Plus, would you say that there are probably more opportunities here, really? I mean, if the sky's the limit as far as being able, you can dream it, you can do it?
It's true. You know, you can build it, you can create it. Disney says that. Imagine it, but it takes people to make your dreams come true. And you have the right people here in California. You've got a lot of them. And we just tap into just a little bit of that gold out there in people. And people are the ones that make our concepts, our business operate and make us successful, and themselves too. We've had generations of people working for us over the 30 years. And it's been a pleasure for those that have worked with us, have gone off in different venues and places to work and been very successful in California. We're proud of that.
I want to say something if I could. Don't ever underestimate an entrepreneur, because we never give up.
That's true.
As many of us can
Yeah,
attest.
absolutely.
Mike Stull, let me ask you now, you're as the director of the Inland Center for Entrepreneurship at Cal State San Bernardino and the founder of the Spirit Awards. You have a chance to talk to really students and business owners of all ages, and people who are considering going into business for themselves and taking that leap, or getting away from corporate America, and maybe they're from outside of the area. What does California have to offer folks who are going into business for the first time? The advantages of being here and doing business here.
I think, you know, if you look at different regions around the country, they all have strengths and weaknesses, but I think California still is the land of opportunity. Gary mentioned it, the resources, the people, the energy, the access to networks, the sheer amount of people, both consumers and businesses, that we have in California, in particular in Southern California and the Inland Empire. I think it's still a very fertile area, and I think we still haven't realized the potential. And so I think when we talk about doing business here, I think back to one of my MBA students that came from the East Coast and basically said, I'm never going back. This is the place I want to do business, because the energy's here, the people are here, the resources are here. despite the barriers and the regulations and those kind of things, he said, the opportunities are still far outstrip other places around the country. This is where I want to be.
And as proof of some of the enthusiasm that we're talking about, let's take a quick look at some of the highlights of the interviews that we held with some of the folks, the nominees and the participants of this year's Spirit of the Entrepreneur Awards.
Hello, I'm Jamar Brown, and I'm at the 2013 Spirit of the Entrepreneur Awards. I'm with a very special guest, Levi Vincent. He is the founder and president of PS Talent Entertainment. Levi, how are you doing this evening?
Very good, thank you.
Well, first of all, congratulations on being one of the finalists, and good luck.
Well, thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your company.
Well, PS Talent is located in Palm Springs, California. We're part of the Coachella Valley Economic Partnership Innovation Hub. We operate in the facility there, and we produce video entertainment and video games for Sony PlayStation.
Okay, and tell me about some of the ideas around video games and entertainment that have really sparked the growth of your company.
Well, we are creating something new in the video game industry. PS Talent, though we're licensed to produce video games, we actually produce video entertainment, movies, videos, and we produce the assets that are in the games and we embed them in our videos. So we also do something that's really unique is we use the community of PlayStation to be the actors in our films. So if you're looking at something like the movie Toy Story, you can actually control one of the characters in Toy Story from the comfort of your house anywhere in the world with the PlayStation 3. So that's what we do. We cast the community of PlayStation as our actors.
Wow, that's very impressive, and I know that the video game market is changing rapidly and daily. It sounds like you're ahead of the curve in terms of the changes. So tell me about the future of your business. Where do you see it going, and how do you see yourself, your company, sustaining in the ever-changing video game world?
We just have to be current with times. Fashion is real important. The technology is changing every day. It's getting better, which is making it more easier for me to do my job. We develop video games over the internet throughout the entire world in real time. We're shooting a film on a PlayStation, and only a PlayStation can drive that technology. So, PlayStation just came out with their PlayStation 4 this week, which is a huge plus because it just has the capabilities that no other device has. So as long as I'm partnering with Sony and producing this entertainment, and they're on top of the technology, we're good to go.
Tony, first of all, congratulations on being one of the finalists. How does that feel?
Thank you. It feels excellent.
Tell me a little bit about your company and how you started the company and what it means to you to be at this event.
First off, it means an extreme amount. Second time around the block, as the old saying goes. Company was founded in 1997. Actually, the company was founded in 1990. We were a general contractor working for insurance companies doing restoration work and actually nationwide disaster cleanup. From that, I branched off to Accurate Leak Locators, which is a specialty company dealing with plumbing investigation, plumbing reports only for insurance companies. Example, if you have a warm floor in your home, or if you have a leak in your house, whether it's coming through the ceiling or coming up from the concrete floor, your insurance company refers one of two people, possibly three people out to your home. I'm probably one of them three choices. 90% of the time I will be in Southern California, which is LA, Orange County, Riverside, San Fernando Valley, and San Bernardino counties. Soon to be nationwide and soon to be Western United States. By 2016, we have a projection of franchising nationwide. But prior to that, we've worked very hard to get where we're at, and if I had to thank anybody and I had to give any praise to anybody, it would be the good Lord above and obviously my children.
Tell me a little bit about what you do at Boyd Specialties.
We manufacture beef jerky and actually chicken jerky and soon to be bacon jerky.
So how long have you been in business, Jay? In order to be considered for this award, you've met with some success to this point. Tell us a little bit about the history of your business so far.
Well, we've actually been manufacturing about 3 years. It took us about a year to build the plant, but our family has been making jerky for about 50 years, just as a hobby turned into a profession.
So at what point did you decide, you know what? I think we can do this. I think we can do this for real, and I think we can be successful with this and open a business.
It all came about when the housing and the market had crashed. I had worked in a roof tile company for 28 years, And at the end of the 28 years, when the plants closed and they weren't having a need for the roof tile, we had my brother, who's a graphic designer, my daughter, who's a very outgoing person, my mom, who had spent a lot of time as office manager. I was either faced with going to find another job or doing something that we enjoyed, and I actually had a friend of mine that I grew up with that always told me I should quit making roof tile and go into making beef jerky. So I had a choice, either get a job and do the same thing I did before or try to make a go at something we really enjoy. So it took everyone's effort. The whole family got involved, 100 hours a week for the past, I mean, if we weren't here at this event, we'd be making beef jerky right now.
Roof tiles and beef jerky, those are two completely different things.
Bruce, congratulations on being one of the finalists for this year's award.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here and to be recognized.
Now, we were talking earlier, and you were saying that your company is a third-generation company. Can you talk about the significance of that?
Well, that's a big challenge here in America to make it to the second generation, let alone the third. So we're very proud of that, and it's really a tribute to our people and I think our sustainability in a variety of economic times since we've been around since 1945.
Wow, that's great. And can you talk about the significance in your mind of being nominated for such a significant award this evening?
Again, it's really a tribute to all of Western Waterworks. It's not just me or our current situation. I mean, it goes back to our founders, Ben and Ethel Duke, who started the company right after World War II. They really set the pace of the company with just real basic core values that we've been able to maintain since 1945.
And last questions, what insight or thoughts would you have for entrepreneurs that are starting out or that are trying to grow their business and to become a company like yours has become over the last 40 plus years?
Well, nothing comes easy. Work is not necessarily a bad four-letter word. So, there's a saying that the only thing that grows without work are weeds. So the only thing I would recommend is be prepared and be willing to work hard.
Tell us a little bit about your company in particular and what you do.
I'm founder and CEO of Young Visionaries Youth Leadership Academy. We started in San Bernardino. We work countywide, getting kids out of gangs, getting kids in college, getting them jobs, things like that. We also have the only runaway homeless youth shelter in the city of San Bernardino, housing kids 17 and under.
Tell us a little bit about the evolution of your organization. How long ago did you get started, and tell us how far you've come.
Well, we started in 2001. I actually started from a backpack, just going out talking to kids. And from there, from 2001 to 2013 now, wow, it's been a long time. But we've expanded across the county. We're in several states. I was just in Atlanta last week working with some young people and speaking at conferences and things like that. So we've been on HBO, MSNBC, CNN, Headline News, Comedy Central, and a whole bunch of other different channels, just out there getting programs out there and working with young people across the globe.
And I understand that it's no surprise that your company has been successful, and you have just moved into a 27,000-foot facility from a 9,000 square foot facility. Tell me about what that means for you and the company from a growth standpoint.
Well, we're excited about the growth of the company. I'm kind of especially proud that we look at our company as building a company through great people. And just one of the benefits we provide for our employees, that we pay 75% of the health insurance for themselves as well as their family. And it's a place that people can really work and afford to live on the paycheck. And we're proud about that. We feel like we're building a strong middle class within our company.
Good. Well, first of all, congratulations on being nominated for such a significant award. Tell me what it means for the both of you to be here this evening.
We're living the dream. What we've always wanted to do is be entrepreneurs and inventors and innovators, and this is just a great recognition of that. We really appreciate it.
And Eric, tell me a little bit about your company for the viewers tonight.
Well, we are an aerospace company, but we primarily work on research and development type topics and technologies. In that genre, we do rocket technology is probably the thing that we're most known for, but we do work in munitions, incendiaries, and a number of things that basically deal with energetics and propellants.
Tell me about the future of your organization. Where's it going? What do you see as the significant advantages that you have over the competition and other people they may be competing against?
Well, we're unique in that we specialize in innovation as our key product. And when you have creativity as that element, then your future is really just bounded by what you can think of and how you can bring those thoughts to bear. Inventions, patents, anything that we can basically move forward a technology to our ultimate customer, which is typically the warfighter or the Department of Defense. So our technologies end up not only being cool and creative and innovative, but they also have some significant value because they help the warfighter, and ultimately the warfighter is protecting our country.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time, and I really appreciate it. Good luck.
All right, thank you so much.
All right.
Want to take just a moment real quick to thank today's special guests, Mike Stull. He's the director for the Inland Center of Entrepreneurship at Cal State San Bernardino and also the founder of the Spirit Awards. And today's special guests, Gary and Sally Myers, BMW Management, and the big winners this year's awards. Thank you so much for joining us.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
And thank you for watching Southern California CEO. Join us for more discussions with today's business leaders anytime at SoCalCEO.com. Until next time, I'm Jeff Allen.